what's my glasses? No live viewers yet, but we are live. We will be announcing on the show. Let me just get everything up and running here. Well, there we are. My glasses. Yeah, got my glasses. I can't see who's just joined us. I do apologise. Good morning, Pav. I can just about see you. Just make it out. Need to get my glasses out. Right. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the Saturday morning live stream with Johnyboy, where we talk all good things landscaping and sometimes all bad things landscaping. I found my glasses. Debbie McGee's brought my glasses in. She doesn't like me calling her Debbie McGee. Alex, good morning. Pav, I got my glasses on now, mate. Pav China, good to see you. Alex, good morning. Yeah, right. I'm going to say it as I should be saying. Welcome to the Saturday morning live stream with Johnyboy as we talk all good things landscaping and sometimes all bad things landscaping. Has sponsored by ITS, the tool people. Remember, you can order your tools 7 days a week with ITS. And if you order them before 7 o'clock, you can get your products delivered to site or your home the next day. We've got to give a big thanks to ITS because they have supported us with this live stream. We're going to tell you a little bit more about them shortly. Well, we could tell you now, I suppose. Lee Handy's just joined us. Good morning. All is good, mate. All is good. I've had a healthy breakfast this morning, just to let you know. You see people posting things on social media about their food and taking pictures of the restaurants and everything. I used to think how daft it was. Even my kids used to do it. But actually, I am going to share a picture later on of what I had for breakfast and what I intend to have on a regular basis. Mr. Tidy Garden. Hi, John. Damien here from Cork City, Ireland. Hope you're safe and well. Look, Damien, thank you very much. I love it when people ask me how I am. I'm actually good. As long as you're all good, Damien. I hope you're busy. I hope you know that things are progressing as you'd like them to go, considering this crazy situation we're in at the moment. If you can hear me loud and clear, I'd appreciate if you can just give me an audio check. That'd be very, very much appreciated. So, and you know, guys, I was going to say, it would be good. It would be good for anyone if you want to contact me through info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. There's the Green Tops logo behind. Just drop me. Cheers, Mr. Tidy. Thanks very much. Just drop me an email because I like to see what jobs that you're on and what you're doing. And if you want to communicate me in some way, that'd be great. Extra Life Gaming, how you finding the availability issues and subsequent price rises on certain products? Well, do you know what? That's a fantastic question. I find it all right because, you know, I don't know. It's not being arrogant, but where we are with our business at the moment, right, is that people trust us, people believe in what we're doing. So when we go out and give a quote and we give prices, you know, we just pass that extra cost on. And in a way, you've got to understand where the costs are coming from. We had, good morning, Jack. How's it going? Good to see you, Jack Knowles. Good morning, mate. How's it going? He said, good morning, Jay. You know, you just got to pass that on to your customer and you've got to explain to them what's going on. And I'm sure they'll be understanding. If they're not understanding, it may not necessarily be the right person for you on the job. And also, if you are a consumer watching this live stream this morning, and I hope there are some consumers that join us in these live streams because it's so important that we help you to make those right choices when you're choosing your landscaper. Just going back to ITS quickly, if you want to go to their website, I never said, was just go on there, www.its.co.uk. If you're ordering some tools, there is a new Johnyboy promo code. It's called Johnyboy Track, okay? And what we've done for them, unfortunately, you have to spend £100 this time, not £50. But what they're doing, they're giving away a free remote control car. And it's the end of tax year sales they're doing. So rather than giving it to the tax man in your tax return, just get something back. I think it's worth, I'm not sure how much it's worth, but it's got to be worth 20, 25 pound. So just get your truck. It's great. If the customers believe in your company, they will trust your increased prices due to the economic circumstances. Absolutely perfect. That's what these live streams are about. And it's about promoting good dialogue and good questions, but also good answers. And it was great to see Mr. Tidy then come in. That was a great answer there. Really, really appreciate this. This is what it's about, these live streams. It's not just about me. I don't know it all. Sometimes when I was younger, I probably thought that I knew it all, but the fact is I don't know it all. I want to show you this later. This is the new IRO brochure. Okay, this is the new IRO brochure. Just going to try and check, see what the time is at the moment. There we are, 10:33. So we're okay because we have got 2 callers coming in this morning. Going back last year, we have this relationship, I should say, with BSW, the people that produce all the carcassing, the timeless sleepers, those 4x4s, their composite decking range. They do a number of other products as well, but they also do this IRO decking, which is, they use an old Japanese method, an ancient method of preserving wood, and then they brush it off once they've burnt it, and then what they do is they put this Rubio monocoat on there. And I believe that we are featured in this brochure. It comes in, I think, 10 different colors. I think there was more colors than that, actually. So it comes in a charcoal, a dolphin, a driftwood, and the driftwood is almost like that aged look. So where they just rub it off. It looks absolutely fantastic. Mountain natural, poppy, lagoon, sunflower, sunset, woodland. Joe, I keep forgetting I should be putting my glasses on. So they've got a great range. Let me have a little look through this brochure and I'll tell you a little bit about the products. It's a fantastic product. So important once you've got it installed. You've got to remember, if you are promoting this product to your customer, with all products, you've got to talk about the pros and the cons of using that product. So yeah, so you've got to use the pros and cons of using that product. Let me just flip through here. And one thing you shouldn't be doing is pressure washing it. It's not the good thing to do. Is just give it a clean with a light brush. The fact is that everything needs to be maintained. If you had an Audi, BMW, or even a Mercedes, those top-end range products, they all need to be maintained. As we talked the other week, when we were talking about the sealers, they've got micro pores in there, so you need to clean the surface. It's easy to clean a car on a regular basis than what it is every 12 months. Oh, there we are. I've just turned this over. Look at the range and the colors there that they have. Absolutely fantastic, that is. Looks absolutely gorgeous. And there we go. There's yours truly with my other half and the client. This was, of course, before lockdown. And you can see the driftwood deck in there. And he's got his rattan furniture, Richard has. And then we've got this batten, this dolphin color, so it's a contrast from the driftwood. Absolutely gorgeous. If you want to get one of these, there we are. Let me just show you now. Combining the ancient Japanese process of yakisugi with the latest technology, the result of such an intricate manufacturing process is a beautifully, uniquely colored timber that helps you to produce both dynamic indoor environments and daring outdoor designs. Because of IRO is heated, enhanced, and coated in a UV stable wood cream, it's not only more durable, but also features a more defined and tactile grain appearance than traditional alternatives. From cladding to decking, our timber is diverse, not constrained to convention. IRO can be used in an innovative, imaginative ways to enrich a variety of public and private spaces. And to create a beautiful, seamless finish, we recommend installing your decking with the camo tool. That camo tool is a way of secret fixing the IRO board from the side. For more information, visit their website, which is www.irotimber.co.uk. Listen, it's an absolutely fantastic product, but you've got to remember, you've got to try and understand, if you're a contractor, you've got to understand the products that you're working with. It's so important. This is, I'm showing off now, but this is another project that we actually done. And on there, again, we have the dolphin, but what we've done, we've got a dolphin vertical upright screen panel at the back, and we've got gaps in between. That was for a lovely couple in Wales, and turned out great. But look how they finished it with the furniture. How important is the furniture in a garden? And once you finish, do you know? It's sad, really, in a way, that what we do as landscapers and contractors, we start taking pictures of the projects that we finish, and really, we need to go back. I'm just going to shut that blind down now. I should have noticed that earlier, but we didn't see it. There we go. There we go. You can see me now a little bit more better. Yeah, how many times do we actually go and take pictures of projects that we finish? And really, we've got to see it as a living space. Just had somebody enter the office during a live stream, which isn't good. We are going to have live on air sign up very soon, so it'll prevent people just wandering around aimlessly across. She's gone. You know who it is. Yeah, so you've got to go back when the client is got it dressed up, like I said, when they've got all the furniture in, and you want to showcase your products, okay? You want to showcase the work you've done, and you're proud of it. Hopefully, your client is going to, and I think people are, when they spend all that money in a garden, I don't know what you guys actually think, but when you actually look at that, there's a bit of a glare on there at the moment. So I apologize for that. We're going to get this lighting right sometime. But when you finish a project, okay, and it's looking good, but you really want them to use it, and because that's what people identify, that's what they have that synergy with when they're doing their garden, okay. So important that that you try and go back and take pictures at the right time. This Ira board is also, look, we revisit these things because we have to, and I don't want it to seem boring, but we've got some other callers coming in this morning, but they use it as a vertical cladding towards buildings as well. Vertical cladding in a garden. When you're walking in a garden, you know, we don't walk in and we look round with our heads down. That's not what we do. You know, we don't look at the wearing courses. What we look at is the things in a vertical aspect. That's what we really, really appreciate. So important that as a contractor, and as you know, there's all these living walls that are coming out now. People are thinking in a different way. There's no ifs or buts about it. People are thinking of how they use their garden in a different way. And you need to think about, when you're walking around, the vistas, the focal point, when you walk through that garden gate, or you're looking from the kitchen, or you're looking down from the top end of the garden. You should always be encouraged to use the garden and move around the garden. It's so important, okay? So it's not just the vistas from the kitchen window or from the patio, if you have a patio that you've built near the house. It's also looking from the further end of the garden and looking towards the house and the vistas that can be created there. You've got to think outside the box, really, in these garden rooms, and you've got to sort of imagine yourself what you would want to see. You just won't want to see. I'm absolutely sick of those feather edge fences. I know that they're important. I'm going to turn that light off from behind there now. I know that they are important, and I know that they serve a purpose. They're a utility fence, but they don't necessarily look good. Those feather edge fences don't necessarily look good. So you're seeing gardens now, whether they're putting something like even a copper frame, or they have these pre-lasered cutout patterns, whether they're flowers or trees, and then they're putting the tile slips or the block wall or something. There are ways, and I've actually seen people even using the composite in a vertical format as well, but by breaking up also with a different product to give it some contrast. It's so important that you look at these changes, okay? You don't want to just... I remember many years ago, I actually carried out a brief to the detail was absolutely exceptional. We did it exactly to the client's brief, but when the client walked into the garden to have a look, he actually said to me, and I quote, "John, it looks like a car park." And it did, but I did exactly what he wanted. So as a contractor, are we designers first, or are we contractors, or are we contractors then become designers? Any good design will always change as well. You know, you've got to remember those changes that the client asks you to do. And if you are a consumer watching this morning, you've got to remember, if you decide to make changes outside the given quote, and I'd say get a quote if you can, you've got to remember that those changes need to be paid for. Okay, and if you are a contractor who just does it like I used to for nothing, okay, you're silly and you're silly to your customer because you've got to be accountable for the things you do. So if you start adding additions without it being agreed, it's not a good thing in itself anyway. So just think about that. It's been a really windy and very wet week here in Wales, and we've had sunshine as well, but it's very intermittent. But we've been able to basically make progress in between and capitalize during the good periods, the good weather. Okay, and we've nearly finished my Everest. My Everest being the job in Ebervale, and it's been good. It's been interesting. Great clients on there. Lisa and Chris, they've been so nice. They've looked after us. They fed us, and we've kept them. There has been a few changes on that job, but we've dealt with it. Okay, so yeah, it's all going good. It's that slate paving, that Brazilian slate paving. We have got a caller coming in this morning, and he's a little bit late, but I want to try and just hang on for him and get him on there. He better call in, because if he doesn't call in, it'll be for the eye jump. Couple of minutes away from there. I just want to know what you're doing this week. I'd love to hear from you. Drop me an email at info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. We got our first caller coming in now. We'll get back to that later. Here he is. Let's have a look. Hello. Right, we're going to just turn the volume up. 1 second. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Who we got calling in this morning? I know who it is, but you tell us.
It's Sam here from Scott's Landscape Supply.
Hi, Sam. How you doing?
Not too bad, good.
Yeah, can you just tell us, are you a landscaper? I'm great, Sam, and it's good to talk to you. Sorry, I do apologize for that. I'm doing good this morning. I've had my breakfast, I've had my nourishment, and I'm ready to go. And certainly, I know for a fact, speaking to you, I had to get ready, because you are, without doubt, the emerging youth in this landscaping world producing fantastic projects. When I was in Manchester, Sam's from Manchester, I went and seen him. How long ago was that, Sam?
It was probably about, it was this time last year, I think, around, yeah, it was probably about a year ago now.
No.
Yeah.
You sure? I can't remember.
It was around the time when we went to the...
all I remember is I don't know if it was through if the lockdown period was there or not. I can't remember. Anyway, I went and seen one of Sam's jobs, and Sam, it'd be good maybe if you allowed me, I could share one of those images on my community on my YouTube. Let people have a look at what you've done, because it was absolutely amazing. What you achieved there, Sam, was unbelievable.
No, thanks for that. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, by all means, share the pictures.
Yeah. So
yeah,
and and I'm going to credit you to that. I ain't going to let people think that it was my work, and I wish it was my work, because it was unbelievable. Sam, so you've been landscaping now, but you're entering in the world of landscape supplies.
We certainly are. Yeah, we've recently opened up a new landscape supply centre in Manchester, providing all types of building materials, landscape materials, artificial grass, composite decking, porcelain paving, Indian sandstone, everything to do with landscaping, really. We want to provide the service, what I never got as a landscaper. We want to provide a down-to-earth service where you can come to us.
Sam? We lost Sam there. I think he'll call back now in a moment. What's Sam? Here we go. Sam.
I don't know what happened there.
No, we lost you. Look, mate. Carry on what you were saying. So, let me just take off. Just go back to revisit where you were. You were saying that you've gone from the landscaping business to this landscape supply business, and your inspiration was that you were saying that you want to give a service to the landscaping community that you never had as a landscaper.
Yeah, that's right. So basically, we want to provide a down-to-earth service where if you've got any queries about any of the products, you can come to us, we can chat face-to-face, we can meet up. We want to provide a great service where you can come to us and ask for bespoke products, what you might not get from your local bigger builders merchants. We just want to change the way the supply industry is going. Really, we want to have that more interactive view with each other.
Sam, I'm not going to cut you short there. I'm going to pick up what you said, then you can come back at me with this now. I think you're absolutely right, is that what you've identified is that, you know, you've had these aspirations to sort of go into the supply industry because you wouldn't necessarily get the service. And, you know, are you going to talk to your potential client base differently than what somebody talked to you before? How are you going to... That is my dogs in the background. How are you going to make it any different, Sam? How are you going to make it any different?
So basically, we're going to provide a service where you can go on our website, have a look, you can look at all of our products, and you can ring us up as well. You can speak to us. We're a family-run business. We just want to make it more personalised rather than dealing with a big company. We want to bring it more down to earth, and you're not just a number with us. We appreciate your business, and we're going to look after it a lot better than you would get with a bigger builders merchant.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. Sorry about that. The fact is, the office is at home, and I've got 4 little dogs, and they were going mad there. Do you know, Sam? I think what you're doing is absolutely brilliant, and at the age that you're doing it is just extraordinary that you've actually decided to do this. Has it been difficult setting it all up?
Yeah, it's been challenging. It's always challenging, no matter what you're doing. But when you want to achieve something, you just go for it, and
don't let nothing get in your way, I suppose.
No, just stick at it and hope for the best, really, and try and interact with as many people as possible. And
look, Sam, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, wouldn't they?
Well, yeah. That's one thing you always hear. Yeah, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
What's been one of the biggest challenges for sort of like, I suppose, the thing that would frighten me, Sam, is even at my age, right? And I feel I'm experienced. I feel I got tenacity, but having to sort of like the transition from actually being a landscaper to being a supplier and having to make that transition. How do you keep up with the work? What happens? How do you deal with it?
At the minute, we've still got a couple of landscaping jobs on the go, but we still just try to finish off and sort of phase our way into the supplies now. So at the minute, we're juggling a few balls, and it is quite difficult. But we'll soon get out of that and be on the supplies more.
Are you going to give up with the landscaping, or are you going to try and get a team and get it going? Keep it.
I would love to keep it going, but it takes that much time to do. I just maybe want to focus on one bespoke project each year, an outdoor eating area, an outdoor barbecue area, something like that, and just do one bespoke, nice project a year.
In your area where you're going to be selling from, so people, or you mean working for other customers, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Are you going to have a show garden, Sam, in your supply place, or an area or display areas of some sort?
Yeah, that's something we've got coming up. We're currently still designing it. We're dealing with a landscape designer. He's doing some designs for it. We're going to be building a beautiful show garden with plants in, all of our porcelain paving on display, wall cladding. There's going to be a little water feature there.
Okay.
It's going to look stunning.
So you are going to have some plants in it, like a real living garden, because Sam, you know yourself, you go into some of these multinational yards, these suppliers, and their yards don't look good, do they?
No. If that's one thing where we're going to be slightly different than the rest. We're going to have somewhere where our customers can come up, and they can come up on a Saturday morning, have a look round, and they can visually see all the products in a setting, like a garden setting. So it's going to really help them visualise where the products are going to be going, how they're going to be used, and the colours as well. It's going to work really
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. Do you know, Sam, isn't it the case when you walk into some of these display areas you have, and we mustn't mention different companies. I don't think that would be fair to say, but the fact is that you go in there and they have it done and it looks so tired and old, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's very common nowadays. You just get a metal stand with a load of stone on it. It just looks tight. It doesn't attract you in. It doesn't show you how the products are being used, where they can be used, and how they can be utilised in different spaces.
Yeah, so that really a lot of these nationals now they are failing in some respect because you go in and you see a tired old area. And how do you feel, Sam? Tell me what you think when you go in. And we're not slating anyone off this morning, but we're talking about you. We're talking about what's inspiring you to go into this business. And what would you say the service that you have when you go into a supplier's?
Well, in one of these big multinational companies, you're going in and you get a service. You're just getting treated like a number. So their display gardens aren't really. They're not. It's not in their. It's not their sort of thing to have a nice display garden because they've still got a custom behind them. Whereas we want to attract in customers that want to have a one-to-one service. They'll provide a great service. It's just going to be totally different than any other landscape.
So really, like the gardens that you actually deliver in, you want to deliver a real bespoke service to your clients.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right, John.
How do you manage now? Because I'm intrigued about this. Is that you've got a member of the public coming in because they're DIYers, they want to do it themselves, or and you've got the trade coming in. Is there a difference? Is there a trade deal, a trade price for these people? You know, if they use you and show loyalty to you.
Well, we look after everyone the same. So all our prices are at one flat rate, and we charge the trade and the general public. So we class all our prices as trade prices. We don't give anyone special treatment. They're coming in. We shouldn't be treating someone who comes in for 10 flags different than someone who comes in and buying 50 pallets.
No.
We treat everyone the same, give everyone the same rate, and keep everyone happy, really. All our prices are rock bottom, the lowest we can get it, to sort of gain that custom, really. We're not here to take anyone's money out of the pocket and rip them off.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things that people struggle with, suppliers struggle with, is deliveries. You know, if you were going to be late for somebody, or something had changed in respect of the delivery date and what have you, what are you going to do to sort of reassure them that the delivery's going to? Are you going to keep in touch with them, or are you just going to let it ride like a lot of these suppliers do?
So, given we're a family-run business, we've got someone in the office on the phone all the time, dedicated to getting in touch with people, letting them know where their order's up to. Because as a landscaper myself, I know what it's like when you're on the job and you sat there, you wait for the materials to turn up. It's frustrating. And what we've never got as a consumer, we never got the reassurance. So your delivery's on its way, will be there in 20 minutes. It was always, well, it'll be here soon. And so that we want to just change the face of the whole supply industry, really.
In a way, it's sad that it's come to this. But in a way that they've done you a favor by not necessarily giving you good service because you've decided to do it for yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone needed to change it. So,
tell us a little bit more about the main materials that you'll be selling. What are you actually selling, Sam? What are you going to have in there that a lot of people? Obviously, you're going to have paving. What sort of paving are you going to have in there?
So we've built up a relationship with manufacturers in Italy and India for all our paving.
Right.
We're selling all Italian porcelain and Indian sandstone. So we're buying it direct from the manufacturer. Here at our yard, we've got a big ramp where the containers back up to, and we unload it straight here in our yard. So we're not dealing with third-party companies importing it. We're going straight to the manufacturer, purchasing it, getting it delivered straight to our yard. So we're cutting out the middleman. We're getting the service direct to us. We know where the products come from. It's just going to help everything out, really. We know when items are coming in stock. We've currently got about 4 containers on the water at the minute coming over from Italy and India. We're waiting for a lot of materials to arrive, which should be with us within the next few weeks. So as soon as they're with us, I'm going to be creating some video content.
All right, so look, I want to get straight onto this bit straight away, and yeah, and video content is we can do this again. You know, we could do a live feed again, Sam, and you could tell us, and you can share, and hopefully we can help you to share your company out. We want you to succeed, without a doubt. We want you to achieve, and we want you to be a success. It's not necessarily about the money, but it's about succeeding with what you want to do. And if the money should always be seen as a byproduct, not necessarily your focus of what you're doing. Sam, so just tell us a little bit, the telephone number, and obviously let's just plug your website and where people can find you.
Yeah, so if you want to check our website out, it's at www.scott-supplies.co.uk. We've currently not got the shop up and running yet. It will be up and running within the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're currently adding all our products on at the minute. We want to make sure everything's right before it goes live. You can also check out our Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn at Scott's Supplies.
Right.
We're creating content every day on there and posting, keeping everyone up to date and what we're doing, what we've got in stock.
Yeah, so the website is called www.scottsupplies.co.uk.
www.scott-supplies.co.uk.
Sam, would you mind sort of sending that through text, the full web address, because I'll get this on this video and people can actually see where to get your products and where to check you out and see what you're doing, along with your Instagram and what other social media.
Yes, that's fine, no problem. I'll text that over now.
Yeah, and Sam, I just think it's absolutely fantastic what you're doing. We want to know how you do. Would you mind sort of tagging me in on some of your posts that you do on your Instagram so I can see what you're doing? And maybe I've got a great way of actually of sharing other people's product, what they're doing. So I want to see people succeed. Sam, let me ask you a question, right? Because I want to know what sort of person you are. When you drive by somebody sometimes and you look at they're driving, say for instance, they got a lovely looking car. I'm not necessarily into cars, but when you look at that person in that car, do you look at that person and think, oh, that's great, that's fantastic, look, lovely, isn't it? Or do you look at that person and you're a bit jealous and not happy that they've got that one and you haven't got one? What sort of person are you?
No, that's not me at all. I'd look at them and go, just by looking at them, you'd know how hard they've worked to get a car like that.
Absolutely. And that wasn't a trick question there, Sam. I knew what you was going to say, but it's great. Isn't it great to see people succeed, isn't it?
Yeah. And going back to what we were saying before, if he drives in a nice fancy car, we're not going to treat him any different to anyone else who turns up. It's everyone's going to be treated the same with the same prices. Basically keeping all the prices as low as we can for everyone to make everything affordable. Yeah, and I'm trying to get a message out here that
you're on here this morning, you're talking to me, you're telling me what you're doing, you're telling me about your background, and I like to see success. I want you to succeed. Can you just tell our viewers, Sam, how old you are?
At the minute, I'm 19 now, so
there you go, 19. Look, I can tell you, the guys that are watching this, or the people that watch this later on, I've seen this young man's work, and it was absolutely inspiring. It was smart, it was neat, it was done correct, and I loved it. I just really, you should go and have, what's your business page website, Sam?
For the
for your landscaping.
It's Scott's Gardens UK.
Scott's Gardens UK.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a look at some really fantastic work, go on to www.scottsgardens.co.uk. Have a look at young Sam's work, and it's mind blowing. But that's where we are now. I certainly wasn't turning jobs out, Sam, like that when I was your age, simply because we never had the products like what people have got now. Didn't mean to say it wasn't good installation, but the products, they're different now, aren't they, Sam?
No, definitely. The way gardens are being created now, a garden's becoming more and more fashionable to have. It's totally changing. It's changing for the better, really. People are getting more interested in outside with plants, growing stuff, and it's helping us all out, really. There's gone are the days of the concrete slides.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sam, it's been great having you on this morning. And as per usual, we get to that time when we have to say goodbye. Unfortunately, that time has come now. Thanks very much. Send those details through me. We'll get it in this live stream as soon as possible. Thanks, Sam. Have a great day, mate.
No problem. Take care.
Take care, bud. All the best.
See you later.
I had to sort of, not being rude there to Sam. I want to let him talk, but we have got another caller coming in, and I've got to make sure that the line is free and it's available. Hopefully, they'll be calling soon. It was great listening to Sam and telling us about his business. 19 years of age, nearly 20, and yeah, he's probably having some support. But we all need support. There's nothing wrong with it. He's on the right road. He really is on the right road. I've been to one of his projects, and I did a vlog about this young man, and some people said that he had help. Well, we all have help, but the client was over the job was. I mean, it literally was almost like Chelsea show garden. It was all it looked. One, because it was a big garden, it was in a nice project. They used some beautiful materials. That's the thing that makes the difference when you're doing these installs and you're doing this landscaping work. Sometimes is that you can install the same product, different products in the same way, but one product will look a lot better. You'll see guys laying those old flagstones, and I mean, they ain't going to come up because it's the flagstone, but they ain't going to come up because the work's good. Here we are. We've got another caller in. Hello.
Good morning.
I knew it is.
How are you? You okay?
Hi, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, I'm fine. Was the line engaged then, or no?
No. I was watching the stream.
All right, great. Interesting guy, young Sam there from up here. 19 years of age, Ryan, and I've been to one of his projects, and it was almost like a Chelsea show garden. Honest, mate.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah, it is. Hey, isn't it great when you see people succeed, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. It's hard work and determination. Fair play to be doing that at his age.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to ask, how is Rebecca this morning?
She's good. She's downstairs watching some online antenatal classes, so she's getting herself clued up on what we need to be doing and when we need to be doing it.
So how long have we got left now?
8 weeks.
8 weeks. 8 weeks, and you're going to be a proud dad, aren't you?
That's it. It's going to be good.
A little Ryan, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey,
definitely.
just Ryan, can you just explain to our viewers now who you are and what you do? And you've been on the live stream before, haven't you?
Yeah, so I'm Ryan Boots, Managing Director at Elemental Inks and Chemicals. We're a Cardiff-based inks coatings company, specialising in all sorts of things for printed electronics, but obviously involved in the landscape and survival group looking at sealers.
Yeah, and what did you study? What's your background, Ryan? Could you tell us what your background was?
Yeah, I'm a chemist. Studied chemistry here in Wales. I've worked for 3 companies down here in Wales, various applications. Started in precious metal inks with a company based in Pontypool. Moved to a company here in Newport working on graphene and hydrophobic applications, and then Rebecca, my wife, myself and a business partner started our own business last year. Moving on and moving back to where we started, really, with printed electronics, protective coatings and that sort of thing.
So you're more than qualified to actually talk about sort of hydrophobic then, really, aren't you?
Yeah, I studied hydrophobic materials for the last 4 to 5 years, really. So from various different angles, from protective coatings for steel, winter sports applications, all various different things.
Right. Okay. Fantastic. It was great. We did the live stream the other week on YouTube, but we did on Wednesday for this forum that I run. We did a live stream where what were we doing? We were testing the beading of water on paving, wasn't we?
Yeah, so it's important to understand. Obviously, landscapers and domestic public are using sealers to seal their paving, but it's important to understand why you're doing it and what it's doing for your paving. So yeah, we were looking at the hydrophobic effect of different sealers on different types of paving.
Yeah, but when we go back, you're personally interested in this because I laid a patio for you last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, nice porcelain patio, it's lovely.
yeah, but you had a problem. You're not necessarily a problem. The problem that you occurred after I left, not because necessarily I've done, but it was due to the weather, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the nature of the UK, isn't it? It's a wet country. You're going to get greening on your patio. You're going to get that algae, that moss sort of build up. Yeah, it's nothing to do with what you've done. It's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah. So the problems that you've incurred, what sort of problems are they, Ryan? Can you identify them? Tell us what they are.
It's just, yeah, you obviously, with porcelain, as more so than sandstone, you're going to get some standing water because there's no porosity value there, so the water will sit. And that's a perfect breeding ground for that sort of algae, that moss that's gonna want to breed in that wet environment. So it's just like greening of the grout lines, obviously, and under some furniture, a bit of greening, but it's easily preventable.
To be honest with me, just tell me, how did you feel when you actually started seeing the green? And you had a call coming in. You yourself, when you looked at that green and you start seeing the evidence of it, how did you feel when you looked at it? You've paid all that money for that patio, and then you've got all your joints going green.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising. I can't remember when it was. You laid out paving in June, was it? Maybe
Yeah.
May or June. Yeah, and within 9 months, this paving's starting to go green. You don't expect it to happen that quickly, do you? Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you now, right? As a contractor, when you turn up on a project, you make that first look. You look at the project and you assess the topography of the land, whether it's falling towards the house, etc. And you actually decide at that point how deep you're going to when you start digging. You decide if you need to go a little bit deeper and how hard the sub base should be. And your considerations is water around the outer edge. Is it a new development where there's standing water throughout the site? But you have to consider that. But we can't govern what comes down from above, can we?
No, of course not. And to some respects, you can't govern what's going to come up from below either. It's difficult, really, especially with the cementatious grades that you're using. The moisture's going to come up, the moisture's going to go down. It's just a matter of time, really.
And that joint, that grout needs to breathe, doesn't it?
It's very important, yeah. Your whole paving, really, with natural stone, not porcelain, because porcelain's obviously non-porous. But yeah, natural stone paving, you need to allow it to breathe, yeah.
Yeah, we spoke about on the live stream this week, though we talked about porcelain being, people think that it's smooth, but it's got these things called micropores, haven't they?
Yeah, micropores, micro defects on the surface. It's basically the glaze isn't the right word, but the decorative surface that they put onto the porcelain paving that almost gives it the appearance and the non-slip. There's just very minor defects on the surface, and your dirt's going to get in there, get trapped, and that's basically what makes your porcelain paving go dirty.
Yeah, and when we talked about sealing the porcelain, we talked about you can still seal the porcelain, and obviously when you seal the porcelain, you're going to seal the grout lines as well, and that's going to make sure that it doesn't. It's going to ensure and help that it doesn't minimise the maintenance, not go green, but also the beading. What do we call it when the angle of the beading, and it's going to help it to run off quicker, isn't it?
Yeah, the contact angle, the surface energy of the slab. By reducing the surface energy of the slab, it's much harder for things to adhere to it, which means like the dirt is less likely to get stuck on the surface. The water will run away, which will take the dirt with it.
Right.
So it basically means that it'll make your patio far lower maintenance than it would be if you don't seal, which means rather than having to get a jet wash to go out to clean your patio, you can just rinse it off with a hose pipe.
So a decent sealer then is going to create a really great bead, almost like a bead, like a circumference, a circle, a round shape, isn't it? So because
That's it.
if it's more flatter, that's that's more contact. So you're trying to reduce the contact. So it's almost like a balloon sitting on your paving, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. When you initially seal your paving, you'll get a really defined contact angle because obviously we're in an outdoor environment. It'll find an equilibrium and it'll reduce slightly and then it'll find its perfect sort of optimum, and then that'll last you for years in the future. Then.
Yeah, a lot of people worry, Ryan, about actually sealing their paving because it's a chemical, and when people start using chemicals, they don't know enough about it, right? But is there a basics of trying to understand how we use it? Though all companies will produce different products, how do we ensure that? What's the pros and cons? What's the tips that we should be looking for when we're choosing our sealer?
I think one of the most important things is obviously check the hazard warnings on the back.
Right.
Those red symbols. Is it going to be harmful to you? Do you need to be wearing gloves? Do you need to be wearing goggles? Do you even need to be wearing a mask in some cases? Obviously, you're working in an outdoor environment, so it's more ventilated than it would be if you're inside. But even still, you've got to consider your own health or your colleagues' health.
Yeah. So
aside from that, you want to be looking for impregnation sealers, not topical sealers. You don't want to be completely 100% forming a skin on the surface of your paving because that would be detrimental in the future.
And I'm starting to understand this after all these years being in the business. You talked about impregnating sealers and you're talking about a topical sealer. What's the difference between, it may sound simple to you and I now, but just for our viewers or even a consumer watching this video now, what's the difference between an impregnating sealer and a topical sealer?
So a topical sealer, which is the one I would never advise, is basically forms a lacquer or a skin on the top of your paving.
Like varnish, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah, it's 100% non-porous. It doesn't let anything in, it doesn't let anything out, which is really, really bad for your paving because your paving needs to breathe.
So your paving needs to breathe. So you put that sandstone down. We're talking about sandstone, about breathing now. And you've got to let, because things migrate through that, because it's the sedimentary rock that we talked about that sandstone is made from, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And all natural paving, not just the sedimentary ones, your igneous ones, your metamorphic ones, you need to allow the moisture to escape from underneath, because if it doesn't escape, it's going to cause problems with your paving. It can potentially damage your slabs, or
so we're talking
if you've got a topical sealer, it'll basically rip through the topical sealer and crack it, which will be really ugly and very difficult to fix.
Oh, that's not good at all, is it? So you've paid all that money for your paving, and you need to, first of all, we need to keep it clean, don't we? And we talked about this week when we did the live stream, it was a lot more detailed, and I appreciate you taking up your time this morning, especially with Rebecca due soon. So I do apologize for that, but just going over now. You're talking about sandstone, you're talking about limestone, maybe basalt, granite as well.
Yeah. All of these natural stones, they don't need to be sealed for themselves, but by sealing them, you make the maintenance far lower than you would if you didn't.
Yeah. And like having your patio now, has it inspired you to sort of maybe get involved in this a little bit more, the sealing industry?
Yeah, so obviously the 9 months since you were here doing my paving, my colleagues and I have been researching different methods of the paving sealers, and we've gone through the research phase to the development phase, and we'll be launching a new range of patio sealers very soon.
Yeah, and how qualified is this research you've been doing, Ryan? You've been going into in some depth, have you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, my colleagues and I have been looking at hydrophobic materials for a long time. We've taken it from a different angle. We've taken it from a scientific angle rather than a landscape angle. So we've been carrying out significant scientific research on it, working out the best chemicals to do the job, creating a high-performance luxury product, I suppose, rather than a general purpose one.
Right, and do you know, Ryan, I got to tell you that when I've got into the merchants before now, it's been I look at it and I think, oh my God, there's so much to read, And by the time you've read it all, have you retained all that information, So are you saying you're going to produce a product?
Yeah, hopefully to be launched to the market very, very soon.
Right. Okay. And so I suppose people can hear about your product on this YouTube live stream at some point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're not going to say too much at the moment because obviously the research phase has taken us, I'd say 6 months. Now we're in the development phase, the testing phase to make sure that we've covered all of our bases. We can produce a good application guide for the customers that makes it very easy to use, to apply. But yeah, it's coming very soon.
Right. Okay. Well, congratulations. I'm glad I helped in some way by spoiling your patio and putting all that green moss and fungus over it.
That's it. I mean, so as we discussed, impregnation sealers, they're by far the best type of sealer for a paving. It allows the slab to breathe. So basically the way it works is the active material will dissolve into a solvent, whether that be water or a solvent-based system.
Right.
The solvent will let it soak into the slab and then it'll evaporate and it'll leave that chemical inside the slab and it'll change the internal chemistry of the slab, which will make it stain resistant. It'll make it hydrophobic. It won't let the liquid water pass in, but it'll let the gases escape.
Right. Okay. Do you know, Ryan, I really appreciate you actually sharing this with us because it's quite exciting news that you've chose to share this with us on this channel. I really, really appreciate it. Do you think sometime in the near future that we could maybe come down and do a little video of the testing and showing the bead and etc.?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
But we won't give nothing away. We won't tell you and everyone where you are or what you're doing because it is.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, it'd be good to do. So if this product is going to come to market, can you give us a rough time when it's going to come to the market?
We're hoping to get it there ready for the mid-spring probably, where people are out there jet washing their patios and making it all look really pretty, ready for the barbecue weather. Just that added thing, they can seal their patios and it'll mean the maintenance going forward in the years to come will be much, much lower for them.
Yeah, look, if your neighbour was having a patio and you're talking to him over the garden fence, and would you say to him, "Hey, you need to get that sealed"? Not that you want to sell product to him, they're having the barbecue, they're having a glass of wine, and they've got that tomato sauce and all those and the red wine. How important is it to seal the paving because of those sorts of products?
Yeah, natural stone paving, you've got to be looking at sealing it for your own benefit, really. I mean, if you're putting a natural stone, a sandstone especially, paving down, and you spill a glass of red wine, you've got a headache to get that away. Whereas if you sealed it, it's just a nice damp cloth or a hose pipe just washes it away.
So the sealer that you're going to produce, would it be suitable for internal tiling as well? Well, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We're looking at producing a solvent-based sealer for outdoor use. That's because you get much deeper penetration into the stone, so you get a lot better levels of protection. Obviously, solvent-based systems can be smelly, so we'll look at developing a low-odor version potentially for indoor use. But yeah, you can seal your indoor porcelain tiles as easy as you can your outdoor ones.
Right. Okay. That sounds interesting. And can you use it for your driveway, block paving, and that sort of thing as well? Because it's concrete, or would you have to change the application, the product itself?
This is one of the things that we've looked at not doing. I mean, there's many general purpose products on the market, but as soon as you read those words general purpose, that means low performance, really.
Yeah.
What we're looking at doing is creating a range of high performance products specifically formulated for that type of pavement.
So it has to be bespoke for the product you're using, isn't it? I lost Ryan then. I've lost him. That happened earlier on. It's probably because I was messing around with the volume. But that was interesting. That was really interesting. And by my own admission, if Ryan calls back, it'd be great if he can. There we go. Hi, Ryan.
Sorry, I don't know what happened then.
It was me. I was trying to turn the volume down a little bit. But Ryan, I think that was this subject is absolutely. I'm just engrossed with it at the moment. I've actually been looking at hydrophobics and all this sort of thing. You were talking about for driveways for concrete. So would it be slightly different for concrete as opposed to the sandstone?
It's it's all based on porosity value, really. You need different penetrating powers for different types of porosity. So, for example, a sandstone patio is very, very porous, so it needs to get right down deep into the paving.
Right.
Whereas on a porcelain patio, for example, you've got those small micropores. You don't need to apply as much sealant. You don't need it to penetrate because it can't penetrate through the pores. So it's different formulations for different applications.
So that'll be a different formulation for the porcelain as opposed to the sandstone. What about concrete and block paving?
Yeah, it's the same type of active ingredients, or the same type of polymer. We'll just amend the formulation slightly to suit the type of product that it's being applied on.
No, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but the absorption rates of concrete, is it a lot different? Is it less than sandstone?
Fresh concrete is probably one of the worst for porosity. I mean, I don't know if you've ever sealed a fresh
concrete base.
Concrete, yeah. You'll lose the first layer of seal or the first bucket of water you throw on virtually instantly.
It just sucks it up, doesn't it?
And it stays porous for its whole life. That's the thing. That concrete base that you lay your paving on, if you don't allow the slabs that you lay on top to breathe, then the water will wick up through the concrete and it'll just blow the slab or the top layer of topical sealer.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see. It's so important about that impregnating sealer. Look, Ryan, I really appreciate you coming on here this morning and telling us a little bit, especially on a Saturday morning. As I've said, just going back to where you said. So, how soon could we see a product on the market? Seriously, just for our viewers, because this is what happens now. They're going to say, where can we get it from? But how soon? Never mind about where. How soon could we see it available?
Hopefully, within the next couple of months, we'll be ready to launch the product.
Okay, well, I'd like to wish you all the best with that. And if there's anything I can do to sort of help you to sort of get that to marketplace, you don't have to pay me. Maybe you can give me a couple of cans of sealer myself. And I apologize for not sealing your patio or advising you. And I think that with these videos now, it's going to help contractors to sort of at least give their clients the option if they want to seal.
Yeah, I think it's been a mind, I understand the sealant technology and things, but even for myself, sometimes picking up a can of sealer, trying to work out if it's a topical sealer or an impregnation sealer, it's a bit of a minefield, really. All
right. Well, look, thanks very much. I'm going to cut you short now. Thanks for joining the live feed, and hopefully we can come down and we can maybe we can share on our channel some pictures of the beading or some of the testing. Would that be okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, hopefully we can catch up in person again soon.
Yeah, great. Ryan, Boots, thank you very much, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Stay safe, my friend.
No, you're very welcome. Thanks, John. Speak to you soon. Cheers.
Take care, Ryan. All the best. Bye-bye. Oh, that was Ryan. That was, I found that really interesting. The thing is, I delivered a patio, okay? It looked fantastic. All the neighbors, all the local Facebook page. Rebecca was absolutely fantastic on Instagram, how she produced those images, and she's got a real good Instagram account. And we had a lot of engagement with our business because of that project. And it wasn't, they just made it look nice. What I was saying about the furniture and the cushions and everything. And of course, they looked after us, they fed us. So that was great. They're great people. So it was good to see Ryan on here. But the thing was the patio. There was greening in that cementatious ground. I'm going to keep up with this. I'm going to keep going with this for some time, because I think it's all about belt and braces and attention to detail. And that's something that I missed. I've always been aware of sealers, but how much of that responsibility sits on the contractor's shoulders when it comes to product knowledge and explaining the importance of sealing paving. I certainly think it is now, because certainly with the porcelain, people think that it's maintenance free, and it's not. It's probably low maintenance in comparison to sandstone, and the same with concrete as well. Well, look, thanks very much for joining the live stream. I will read, good to see John Ward on here, and Simon as well. Simon, good to see all you guys on here. I'm going to go back, I'm going to read all the comments, and really appreciate you for joining me with this Saturday morning live stream. We're going to continue with it because the views are going up, but it's not necessarily about the views. If it helps one person being a consumer or even a contractor, we're doing our job. That's it. Have a great weekend, and please be safe. Please be safe. This COVID period is still going on, and we're not out the woods yet. And stay safe. Thanks for joining. Remember, be kind. So important. See you soon. Take care. All the best. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, John. And thanks to everyone else that's joined. I will be reading all your comments. If in the meantime you want to send me a message, just send it to info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. John, it'd be great to talk to you sometime. And let's maybe get together. We'll be able to go on tour again, as I've done in the past, across the country, visiting landscapers. If you want me to tell the viewers about your story, just drop me a line or drop me an email, send me a text, however it's done on social media platforms these days. But make sure if you send a pigeon, we got a call coming in. Take care. See you soon.